Well, Alzheimer's is a growing crisis in Florida and still across the country. Over 500,000 people in Florida are living with Alzheimer's. By the year 2025, the number of Floridians aged 65 or older living with Alzheimer's will grow by 24% compared to 2020. Now, joining me this morning is Kimberly Crawford Stokes, and you're with the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So we talked about that age a little bit, but I want to first ask you, can you explain what this disease is?
Well, folks that live with Alzheimer's, it is a progressive brain disease that affects all messaging. It affects their ability to make decisions, their behaviors, their mannerisms, their thinking, and it also affects their senses, such as sense of taste, smell, touch. And funny that you mentioned over 500,000. Actually, it's 1 in 8 that are suffering with the disease and through the disease.
Wow. And so who is more at risk for Alzheimer's?
It's funny because nowadays it's hard to even pick out. We're now seeing more younger people presenting in earlier stages, and we are starting to identify that through different research, education, and even different trials that are going on right now. So it's not that it's not that people are now seeing more of a rise. We're actually just now starting to identify more of the preliminary stages of to form the diagnosis.
Right, and so with more people possibly being impacted by this, what can we do to help, and why is participating in this walk helpful?
Well, with us being the largest fundraiser for the Search for a Cure to End Alzheimer's, it encapsulates those that are not just suffering with the disease, living through the disease, family members that need support groups, even younger children that are, sometimes caregivers and don't understand, different behaviors of their older grandparents or loved ones. So you can reach out to the Alzheimer's Association, alzheimers.org/Jacksonville, UNF, participate in research studies, and also seek out understanding through social groups, and don't be afraid to interact and take time with people.
And do you think a lot of people understand the effects of what it means to care for someone with Alzheimer's, and what does this do to loved ones?
That is a hard no. They don't understand, because when someone is living through the disease, they are experiencing behaviors that they cannot control. So in our world, we like to bring their world to us to better understand, help them thrive, and also calm them down. Because when it's no difference than having when you have a newborn. And you don't know what's wrong with the baby. So you go through checks and balances. You don't tell the baby you're fine because the baby doesn't understand. So it's the same thing with someone that's going and living through this process. They don't understand. I tell a story about someone that lost their keys. Well, they didn't want to tell someone they couldn't find their keys, so they went to a dealership and bought a new vehicle.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
That's hard. That's heart-wrenching right there.
It's about identifying some of the signs and being aware and just understanding. And sometimes we have to be a society that grows to understanding the behaviors before we go and try to fix a problem. So understanding the behaviors and understanding the identifying outliers will help us with transitioning to be a society that is sympathetic, empathetic, and then we can help with education, research, and understanding and coping.
Such important information. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yes.
Give us one more time, the rundown for if you want to participate in the walk.
If you want to participate in the walk is Saturday, this upcoming Saturday at UNF. It starts at 8:30. You can always arrive early. The ceremony starts right at 9:30 and the walk proceeds right after. If you do want to sign up for a walk team, visit alzheimers.org/Jacksonville. Google us, give us a phone call.
Perfect. All right. We'll have that information on newsforjax.com. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you so
we
much.
appreciate it.